What's up, guys? So if you just recently or are thinking about getting into streaming, making YouTube videos, or podcasting, I'm going to be reviewing today 3 budget mics, less than $60 on Amazon, that you could possibly have that would improve the audio quality of your stream or podcast or YouTube video. Anyone talking about making YouTube videos, they say that audio is number 1, video is number 2. So if you want a cheap mic that's going to make your quality sound the best, it's probably going to be one of these 3 mics, whether it's $30, $50, or $60. And we'll see which one has the best bang for that. So this is the $30 Fifine mic that I bought a year ago to start. Me and my buddy started a podcast, so I bought this cheap mic on Amazon. And honestly, it sounds obviously a lot better than any headset microphone you're going to have. But now that I've started this YouTube channel and I just started a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Lee Nichols. Check it out. Give me a follow. I appreciate it. I wanted to get a mic that would be better, but I also don't have the money to just put up front, buy a $300 Shure mic or whatever. So instead, I bought 2 mics on Amazon, one for $50, one for $60, and I'm going to test them today, and I'm going to see which of these 3 mics has the best sound quality, and I'm going to return whichever one or 2 loses this competition, because obviously I only need 1 mic. The second mic we'll be reviewing is the Razer Seiren Mini. It's a cute little guy. This is $50 on Amazon. It comes in white, black, and hot pink also. So this mic, it's primarily made out of plastic, so it's pretty light. The top, the grill, is actually metal, and it's pretty solid. It feels like a pretty solid mic even though it's light. As you can see, the stand is adjustable on this mic. It's very limited adjustability for angle, but that might give you just enough to make the angle you need to make your voice sound better. So this Razer Seiren, it also only has a micro USB port in the back. It does not have a headphone jack, but unlike the $30 Fifine, it is not hardwired in, so you can kind of do whatever you want. This microphone, it unscrews from its base, so this one you can actually screw on. It's a 5/8 inch thread. You could screw it onto your boom arm. This is a $20 mic arm on Amazon also. I'll put that link in the description below as well, because it's $20, it's super cheap. It clamps onto your desk, and I think it's a really good value. It does what I need it to. It's not like you can't move it around like whenever you need to. You're gonna be spending $100 to $200 on a mic arm like that. But if you want an arm that just sits in one spot and holds your microphone close to your face while you're streaming or recording videos, this is a perfect one for $20. Again, a budget thing. So this comes with a little adapter, so you can just screw that into the bottom, and then you screw your mic into here, and yeah, it's just a really small compact mic. It's $50, so it's very much on the cheap end as far as mics could go, so we'll see how that works out in this video as well. The last mic we'll be reviewing is the upgraded version of the mic that I used to have, this is the Fifine. I believe it's the K678 maybe, I'm not sure, but it comes in this stand that it's on is actually the highest quality stand for sure. It's like solid steel. Maybe it's aluminum. It's probably aluminum, but it's all black matte, which looks nice. It's obviously adjustable frontwards, backwards. This mic actually has not a micro USB, it's a mini USB port, which is odd. I'd prefer that they did a USB-C or something like that, but it's whatever. It also has a headphone jack, so you can listen to yourself if you want to. You can get all your audio through that. You can kind of hear how your mic sounds, so you don't have to constantly be worried about, oh, what if I don't sound right, which is nice. It also has a thread that can be screwed in. It comes with an adaptive piece right here that screws in to the bottom of the mic, and then you can attach to the mic arm also. This mic comes with a mute button. It comes with a mic volume, and it also comes with a headphone volume for if you want to plug your headphones into it like we were just talking about. So this mic, it's the $60 one, so it's $10 more than the Seiren Mini, and it's double the price, $30 more than this $30 Fifine mic, but it has, obviously, just from the get-go, it has more features. It has the mute button, it has your different volume controls on the back. The stand is a lot sturdier, and it honestly, it just looks like a higher quality mic. So now, without further ado, let's get into the actual mic testing for each one of these. Whichever mic that I think sounds better after reviewing the footage is the one that I'm going to keep, and then I'm going to actually return the other one, because obviously I don't need 2 mics. So if somehow this $30 Fifine sounds better than any of these other, then, oh my god, I almost dropped it, than these other 2 mics, then I will return both of them, but I don't think that's super likely, but we'll find out. Okay guys, so the first mic we're going to be reviewing is this $30 Fifine mic with the little tripod stand. So I'm currently holding it close to my mouth, probably 3-4 inches away, And this is where it would be on if you were on like a mic stand or something. And now we're going to test if it was on the table far away from you. This is the quality that you could expect. I'm now going to pick up the mic and I'm going to rotate it to see where the sound difference is. If there's dead zones in it, which you kind of want in a mic. You want it to only pick up the front. You don't want it to pick up the side noises, such as keyboards, just different background noises. Okay, so I am now talking into the front and I am rotating it around, and we'll see if the sound quality gets any worse or it gets lower. I'm talking in the same volume, and now we're back to the front. So that was the 360 test. Now I'm going to set it down on the desk and I'm going to type on my keyboard, click with my mouse a little bit. The keyboard and mouse are maybe, the keyboard clicks will probably be around maybe a foot away from the mic while it's sitting on the table, and we'll see how loud those echo sounds are, or those keyboard clicks are. This is with a noise suppression filter on in OBS, so theoretically this shouldn't be picking up any of those keyboard clicks, but this one, just looking at my sound bar, it looks like it did pick those up. So I'll review that in the footage, but I would assume this will pick up your keyboard clicks pretty rapidly. I'm going to actually hold it now just to test if it was on the mic arm and not on the desk, if it would still pick up those keyboard clicks. And it looks like it still does pick those up, maybe not as aggressively as if it was sitting on the desk. So if you do decide to go with this mic, I would definitely recommend putting it on a stand, just because the keyboard clicks, it didn't seem like when I did the 360 test, it seemed like this was maybe a mic that was more designed for two-way podcast, like someone behind and someone in front of the mic to pick that up equally. And I don't actually see there being too many dead zones around the mic. So this might not be your best option if you're streaming and you don't want to hear those keyboard clicks. So now we're going to transfer over to the Razer Mini and we'll see how that performs in these same tests. So this is now the $50 Razer Seiren Mini. This is obviously the white. You can also get it in black and hot pink. The other two, the Fifines, only come in black. So if that's something that would be important to you, keep that in mind. I'm going to set this on its stand on my desk so you can hear what it sounds like if you were sitting on your desk and you were recording a video or streaming or something like that. Remember, this mic does not have a volume adjuster, so you can't turn it up if the volume is low. You could maybe do it with a software on, say, Streamlabs or something like that, but there is nothing on the mic that can actually pick up more sounds. It's plug and play, which could be nice if you don't have a lot of experience with audio, but if you're someone who likes to work with your audio, this doesn't give you a whole lot of options. So the Seiren is now sitting on my desk, and you'll see how the quality is affected by me just being this far away. You can tell that the quality gets a little bit better as I get closer to the mic, and then as I back off, the sound isn't nearly as there, which is good because you're not going to hear a lot of noises in the distance. We'll do the 360 test now. So this mic is actually it's supposed to pick up the front, not on the back two sides, and then in the very back it picks up a little bit, but that's also suppressed. So we'll see how well that works out. So for the 360 test, I'm talking into the front of the mic and I'm turning it. I'm now on the side, and now I'm all the way in the back of the mic around to the next back corner, and now I'm almost back and I'm to the front again. So we'll see how that actually picked that up. It looked like it had better noise cancellation or noise reduction on the sides than the previous mic. I'm actually going to put this mic on the arm and we'll test that out also, just to see additionally how it would sound if it's on the stand. But first we're going to set it down on its stand and do the keyboard click test. This is with noise suppression on OBS, so take that into account. It's not going to just not pick up any keyboard sounds without this noise suppression mode on OBS. But if you position your keyboard in those 135-degree angles from the front of the mic, that's where you're going to get your least amount of noise from this mic. So the mic is sitting on my desk and the keyboard is where the dead zones are. So I'm talking from about 6 inches away from my mic, and now I'm going to test the keyboard clicks. And it's not picking those up at all. But now if I'm talking, then I'm clicking the keyboard, it should be picking it up a little bit more because I'm talking, the mic is activated, and now we'll see how much you actually hear those keyboard clicks. Now I'm going to move it onto the boom arm just so you guys can get an idea of how big it is, how big it looks, how it looks on the boom arm, because that's a big thing obviously when you're streaming or making videos. Not so much for podcasting, you'll care more about the mic quality. Okay, so the mic is now on a boom arm. This is where I usually have it when I'm streaming. Obviously my mouth is in front of it and not on the sides because that's where you'll get the highest quality sound from this mic. So this is kind of how it looks. One nice thing about this Razer mic is it comes with these little Velcro strips, so you can actually hold up your cord along your mic arm, which is a nice feature to have. Otherwise, obviously, you could just wrap the cord around it. So this was the $50 Razer Seiren Mini in white. Now we'll move on to the $60 Fifine microphone. Okay, so now we are on to our last mic that we're going to test. This is the $60 Fifine. This is the upgraded version of that $30 one that I bought a year ago. This one came out maybe a couple months ago. It fluctuates in price a lot. Right now, at the time of recording this video, it's $60 on Amazon, but I've heard things where it's going as high as $75 and as low as $55. So it should be somewhere in there. We'll assume it stays around $60 now that hopefully as this coronavirus thing winds down and supplies get back to normal. So obviously this is recording with the microphone volume on the back a quarter of the way turned up. So I'm going to set this down as where it would be sitting on your desk if you were streaming with it. So the mic is now about a foot. Yeah, probably about a foot from my face, which is where it would sit while you were streaming. This is the quality that you'll get at that point. I'm going to test the keyboard clicks now. It doesn't look like it's picking those up, but now while I'm talking, while that noise suppression gate on OBS is activated because it hears my voice, we'll see how much of those keyboard clicks it picks up and how loud those are. I have a fairly loud keyboard, so it should sound like you can hear it, but it shouldn't obviously be overwhelming. And like I said earlier, this mic obviously also has the ability for you to plug in a headset via an aux port on the bottom, so you can hear yourself, you can hear the quality of your own sound that you're putting out to your computer. So the mic is now off the stand. All it takes is there's two little screws that go in the sides of this stand. The Seiren and this mic are both pretty easy to take off the stand to put on the boom arm, so that shouldn't be a problem. We're now going to test the 360 test of it to see if there are any noise suppressive zones. I'm not sure this mic actually has that, but we'll test it right now. So I'm currently talking to the front of the mic, and now I'm turning it. I'm in the back side, and then now I'm in the very back. Another back corner to the side, and then now I'm back in the front again. So we'll see if that quality is affected or the noise volume. I didn't look like this one was as effective as canceling the noise as the Seiren, but we'll see that in the video review when I do my final analysis and breakdown. On the microphone stand, as it would be when you were streaming or recording videos if you choose to do that. Right now it's about 2 inches from my face, and this is what it would sound like. Again, this mic is a little heavier just because it feels more solidly built. The outside, the frame is aluminum, some kind of metal, as opposed to the Seiren where it was just plastic. Obviously the $30 mic, you could probably put the mic onto a stand, but it doesn't have a screw-in port. You would have to use one of those basket type rings for it, which this $20 stand from Amazon does come with. I just haven't had the time to set it up and try that. I think it would just look worse, but we know what it sounds like close. This is just kind of a visual representation of what the arm would look like with this mic on it. Obviously with this, you see the buttons in the back. It's kind of a preference on whether or not you think your audience will actually care about that. Typically they don't really care what your microphone looks like as long as your audio sounds good. So this is the $60 Fifine K678. It's on Amazon, and it's the most expensive of the three mics we're testing. And I will now take a minute. I will edit the video, review the sound quality, and then I'll come back to you and I will tell you what my overall review is from each mic, and we'll decide which mic I'm going to keep for my purposes, which is streaming, YouTubing. And I also am restarting my old podcast again. That podcast is 3 Aces. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. The cover art looks like this. Give that a follow. But now let's review which mic I'm going to keep, which mic outperforms, and what's the best value for your money. $30 Fifine mic with the little tripod stand. So this is now the $50 Razer Seiren Mini. This is obviously the white. You can also get it in black and hot pink. Okay, so now we are on to our last mic that we're going to test. This is the $60 Fifine. This is the upgraded version of that $30 one. Okay, so I am now talking into the front and I am rotating it around, and we'll see if the sound quality gets any worse or it gets lower. I'm talking in the same volume, and now we're back to the front. So for the 360 test, I'm talking into the front of the mic and I'm turning it. I'm now on the side, and now I'm all the way in the back of the mic, around to the next back corner, and now I'm almost back and I'm to the front again. So I'm currently talking to the front of the mic, and now I'm turning it. I'm in the back side, and then now I'm in the very back, another back corner to the side, and then now I'm back in the front again. If it was on the table far away from you, this is the quality that you could expect. So the Seiren is now sitting on my desk, and you'll see how the quality is affected by me just being this far away. So the mic is now about a foot yeah, probably about a foot from my face, which is where it would sit while you were streaming. This is the quality that you'll get at that point. Let's break it down category by category. So overall sound quality, the $30 Fifine mic actually sounded pretty good. I don't really have any complaints about that. The Razer initial sound test, it sounded a little bit grainier than the $30 and $60 Fifine. It didn't sound bad, but it did sound a little bit, I don't know if grainier is the right word, but just something wasn't quite right about it. The $60 Fifine sounded just as good, if not better than the $30 one, and it felt like a more crisper sound, at least for sure over the Razer. For the 360 test, obviously the $30 one, there was a little bit of difference on the sides, but I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I think that was just based off of how that grill is shaped. For the Razer sounded good on the back side. It had obviously the best noise cancellation. If this is the front of it, the two best are the two back sides. Straight on back was still reduced, but not quite as much. Either way, with this mic, with the Razer, you'll hear a lot less background noise. The $60 Fifine also did really well in the 360. I expected the Razer to do better just because I heard more about that property of it, but the $60 Fifine, the K678, actually performed at least just as well, if not slightly better in my opinion, listening back over the entire tests multiple times. When listening to the mic on the desk, the $30 mic had generally the same quality as it when I was holding it close. Obviously, it was just not a lot quieter. It was just a little bit quieter. The Razer, it seemed to have a little bit less quality because I was further away from it, but it was also a little bit quieter. And with the Razer, obviously, there's no sound adjustment knob on it, meaning that the only way to get that same volume of sound is just to talk louder or try to lean over and get closer to the mic, which could be an annoying thing to do when recording videos or streaming or podcasting, whatever that may be. With the $60 Fifine, obviously, similar to the $30 one, the sound quality seemed to be pretty much the same. It was a little bit quieter. The difference between up close and on the desk was a little bit quieter with the $60 one compared to the $30 one, but obviously you can just turn up the volume on the $60 mic and it should make up for that. Now for keyboard clicks, this doesn't really affect podcasters or if you're creating YouTube videos, but for streaming, the $30 Fifine mic did not do great in blocking any keyboard clicks, and that was with the noise suppression software going. You're pretty much going to hear every click you make on a keyboard if you have it anywhere near it with the $30 Fifine. The Razer picked up very little. I heard maybe one or two keyboard clicks throughout that time when I was pressing the keyboards pretty aggressively. The $60 Fifine, I didn't hear a single keyboard click besides when I was obviously talking and then clicking the keyboard at the same time. And even when I did that, it sounded like it was just more of background noise. It wasn't overpowering the sound. So overall, the decision on which mic I'm going to keep creating videos with and keep streaming with is the $60 Fifine microphone. I feel like the overall quality is the best. I feel like its noise suppression is the best. I feel like it has the most features, such as being able to listen to yourself through the headphone jack, as well as the mute button. It's the little things. It looks nice on the stand, and I just don't think there's a way you can go wrong for $10 more than the Razer, which would have been my second choice, just because I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming and I don't want the keyboard clicks. If I was primarily and only using a microphone for podcasting and didn't want to spend much money, I would go with the $30 Fifine, and then I would actually probably go with the $60 Fifine over the Razer, just because the quality is a little bit better, and on podcast, obviously it's all about quality there. All three of these are decent mics. Obviously for streaming, I wouldn't recommend the $30 one, but it's up to you. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you are going to get one or the other, or if this video helped you at all. Leave a like, make sure you subscribe. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do more videos like this where I compare different things, whether that be streaming, YouTube, podcasting related. I'd love to do it. I just want to know if you guys are interested. So that'll be all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.